another quick tips here in Wizard 101. So check it out. I am standing here at the Pet Pavilion, and I just did a big training because today's quick tips are what to do with pets. And we just had a huge update, so we're going to try to cover some of the different things that have popped up, as well as some quick things you need to know about pets. Well, first off, I went ahead and just did a quick game because I want to see what this would look like. And here we go. Look at the bottom right here. We have a new marker that says, your pet has improved greatly. Games won. So I have won 1 out of these games. So this is a new feature for pet training. It used to be with pet training, you would just have to train that pet over and over and over again with different snacks to increase his experience so you can get him up to the next level. What's great about this now is after you have done 25 of a game, okay, like I don't know how you guys train pets, but a tip is find a game that you're good at, that you can knock out really, really quick, okay, that you can actually perform at the highest level, because that's going to give you the highest set of experience, which I believe 4 points is the highest you can get unless you're a member and you're getting double pet experience at that time. Now that actually really works well for you, because after you've done it for 25 times, what that does is that gives you an expert rating on that game, and so then you could actually just go in there and you can now train it without having to play the game. And then you can just feed your pet snacks, and you can experience them up a little bit quicker using that same game. Now, after you won your game, it's going to give you a marker there. Now, let's talk about feeding your pet. Now, the best way to level up your pet is through mega snacks, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But another trick is to look up your particular pet and pick out a snack that they might like. Like, for instance, he's a balanced pet, and I believe it's been a while since I played this pet here. Let's go ahead and feed him some flapjacks. There you go. Some snacks your pet is going to absolutely love, and that usually gives you a little bit more experience when you feed him that particular snack, and that's a good thing to know. And also, each snack is going to give you different bonuses on each one of his different powers as you go to raise him up. Notice there's also a new statistic here called happiness. Okay, and this is quite important for some of the new pet abilities that you can get with your pets as you play the game. So, here we are. We are sitting here in the Pet Pavilion. I like the maze game, so I play that one quite a bit. And let's just talk about pets in general. Pets are, well, obviously they're pets, and you can get them, start picking them up early in the game. They introduce them to you now in not fire, you know, the storm alley. Yeah, okay. They start giving them to you right there. And what's great about pets is there's a whole lot more. Like, notice right here down beside my health, down the right hand corner, guys, beside my health right here, we have a little pet right above your potions. So let's go ahead and click on the pet, and notice we got 3 different things that tell us some things about our pet. First off, let's go ahead and let's inspect our pet. Okay, so when we inspect our pet, this pulls up your pet tab, and so this gives you quick, easy access for whichever pet you have lifted up. Like right now, I have Sir Bo, who is a boar knight. He is a balanced style pet. Okay, you can tell that from right up here. Okay, right now I have him trained up as an adult. He has a strength of 89, intellect of 151, agility of 92, 75 will, 80 power, and happiness. Now these are only valuable if you are actually doing the pet games. Okay, so there's a pet derby that you can race your pet in and earn tickets and stuff, so that you can get, I guess, snacks and a variety of things. I played it a couple times, and I was very disappointed in my performance, so I haven't really played the pet derby in quite a long time, but that's what all these stats right here are good for. Now, what do most people use pets for? Most people use pets for the talents. So when you start training your pet, you can get a variety of different talents. So what do you need to know about this? Well, first, right up here, you have your pedigree score. Now, this pedigree score gives you 2 numbers. It gives you your manifested talents. This gives you the power score for the pet, and it gives you the overall score for the talents and powers in this particular bloodline. Every pet is unique, especially when you start breeding pets with other pets. So they're going to have different overall talents and powers in the bloodline, and they're going to have different types of power. Like, for instance, this is a pedigree of 10, so the power score for this pet is fairly low. I've seen pedigrees as high as like 98. They might even be into the hundreds by now, but that gives you the amount of power. Now, right over here, this gives you the overall score for the talents and powers of this bloodline. So you can get a variety of different talents. Notice that's pretty high. Sometimes you'll see them lower for a higher pedigree pet, and so that's just part of how all the pets become very unique over time after you breed them over and over again. So for this particular pet, he can get up to 5 different talents, and he can get up to 5 different derby talents. Okay, so basically what you see listing here right now are the talents he's got. So for instance, I have a mana gift talent, so when I have this pet equipped, I get an extra 43 mana in my mana pool, and I have a crafty talent, which is a derby thing. So basically that gives you 25 and adds another 50 max on your will. Now, not being much of a derby player, I really try to find pets that don't have much as far as it comes to derby talents, because derby talents don't really do much for me. Now down here you'll see some numbers down here. So each of these talents is in a particular category. Like for instance, how many talents does your pet manifest? Well, you know, that's what this is showing. Like, for instance, that's how many tests. So this shows you how many common talents. So, for instance, 0. So I'm not going to get any common talents. Then we've got how many uncommon talents. Okay, 3. So I can manifest up to 3 uncommon talents. And then I also have how many rare talents. So I can manifest up to 7, or there's about 7 different rare talents I can manifest. Okay, you'll notice over here that I don't have any ultra rare talents that can manifest. That's partially due to my low power. Okay, and over here I don't have any epic talents, and again that's partially due to my pedigree. So that's what opens up how many of these, or how many of each kind you're able to get from, you're able to pull from, and you'll only be able to get a total of 5, and then you can also add a jewel to your thing, and we can talk jewels sometime else. Okay, so that's the pet screen in a nutshell right there. Now if you want to see, there's a couple of options. Like if you want to see all the talents, let's see here, you can pop that open as well. So right now this is just showing the ones that we've done, but there's a whole list of talents as well. Okay, you'll notice down here we can see the full talent menu by clicking this. So for instance, you know, this shows you all the possibilities of where I can get talents from. I'm not going to manifest all these talents. I'm only going to manifest a total of 5 talents total. But this is where they'll all pop up, you know, as you go through, okay? And you can close that up, and that's only going to show you the ones that you've actually selected. Now, you can look at pet snacks really quick by hitting the pet snacks button right there, and that'll show you what pet snacks you have. Okay? Let's see here. Whoops. Let's open that back up. Okay. Down here, you can equip and unequip from this menu. So if you want a different pet, you can like scroll through some of your other pets, and you can go ahead and turn him on. If you have jewels to affix, you click on that. That'll allow you to fix jewels. And then you have your pet tome, which will actually allow you to look at all the different pets that you have collected at one time or another. I got a few other pets here, and they're all sitting in my house right now because I don't carry all my pets with me. And unless you have a whole bunch of pets trained up, that's something similar, okay? And this is going to tell you, you know, what type of school you have. It actually tells you what type of snacks they like, hybrid and crown. Now, let's talk about some of the. Let's see here. Let's just go back and take a look at this. Now you'll notice down here we have what we call a happiness meter. The happiness meter is something to keep your pet happy now. This is brand new. So basically, if you want to increase that happiness meter, you offer them a snack. So you can go ahead and click the little snack button down here, and you can select different snacks and go ahead and offer them up to your pet. And when you give it, you'll notice that your happiness meter starts to go up. You know, and you can keep on feeding them snacks. I love this feature right here because it allows you to use certain talents with your pet. For instance, you have an option now where you can play as a pet. So if you click on that, you are now your pet. So instead of running around as with your wizard, you can run around as your pet. So guys, be ready. You're going to see a lot of pets running around on the servers now, and I think this will be something that lots of people really enjoy. There's also a few higher level quests where you use just the pet. I'm sure they're going to be adjusting that earlier on in the game, so you don't have to wait until you get to the higher dungeons before this becomes something pretty useful. And I'm sure we'll probably see some more built-in content for this particular part of the gameplay. So I'm kind of looking forward to that and the possibilities that's going to give us. So what's so good about this happiness? Well, some pets, let's see here. Oh, and you can make them dance from the screen too. Yay! Okay, now some pets, when you're taking a look at their different talents, will have what we call Maycast, or they also have what we call Willcast. Willcast things are, we've always, like, one of the discussions in Wizard101, we've always said is, wouldn't it be great if we could just control our pet, or if we had a minion, if we could just make the choices for them? Because, you know, sometimes pets will cast a spell before or after when it would have been a good time to do it, because a Maycast is like whenever the pet decides or wants to. Well, now they've offered in talents to have what we call a Willcast, so we can actually have the pet cast that during a match, or during a, well, actually it's not allowed during matches yet, but during a mob fight. And that's a really cool thing, because now you actually have some control over some of the spells that your pet has. So instead of them only being Maycast, you'll also have Willcast. But again, not sure how well that's going to work out until we see what type of spells will come up as a Willcast. So that's going to be pretty exciting as the game moves on. Now, we also have what we call Maycast, in which the pet will randomly cast spells during duels and stuff, or fights. And that's pretty useful, because if you have a pet that can do a healing spell, or what a lot of people breed for is for blades, because blades are pretty awesome when you can, like, stack multiple blades for a big attack. They look for pets that can cast those and add those in. That way you can have multiple different blades stacked up and give you a much higher attack range. Okay, so those are the things that we're looking for, and how much that pet involves itself doing that is now linked to the happiness meter, and happiness points will reduce depending on how often you use those particular talents. Like right now, you notice that I can play a pet for free. Okay, but after I finish playing this initial thing, it'll be linked to happiness. So basically, if I want to be my pet, I do have to keep my happiness bar up. Now, actually, I think this is really kind of a cool thing. I'm excited. It's gives you some neat new features to play with your pet, as well as it links something to their talents, so there's more control over it. So why is that cool? Well, for instance, you'll be able to use some of their talents more often, okay? And there's a tool. Now, but this also gives a really good use for all those pet snacks that start to conglomerate. Like a really good pet strategy, with pet stats is to gather a whole bunch of mega snacks. Usually through guarding, that's the easy way to go. And then use those mega pet snacks, that's what I meant, gather mega pet snacks, and use those for training, because it allows you to train your pet a lot quicker. What happens to all the lower-end pet snacks? Well, a lot of people end up selling them, or getting rid of them, or they just sit in there because those pet snacks don't really give you much as in regard to increasing your pet stats. Well, now those pet snacks can actually be used to increase your pet's happiness. And that's probably where they'll be used primarily. That's what I've already started using mine for, is now you can go ahead and increase your pet snack. You can use even cheap pet snacks to increase your happiness. That way, you don't have to use mega pet snacks to increase your happiness. You just end up having to use them a whole lot more. So that's what's nice. It actually gives a purpose for all those really low number of pet snacks that a lot of people don't use. So that's pretty cool. I think that's neat. Now let's talk about the last thing about pets. It's called hatching, real quick. So let's jump over here to the kiosk. If we jump into the kiosk, I think we have to be actually our wizard. So there we go. Now, one of the big things that changed in hatching with the kiosk is, is the cost, and this is one of the downgrades. Like, for instance, if I want to get a pet that's going to really help my death guy out more, I might go over here to death pets, for instance, and what I would do is I would come down here and look. Now notice when you highlight something, it doesn't just list everything and all the cards they have. So you have to actually look a little bit closer. Like, for instance, Acid Rain Core is pretty popular. So now I have to hit Control, click to go ahead and see the rest of the stats. So, for instance, I can see the item stats, adjustments. There's no adjustments for this particular pet, and spell. So this spell will give. So this particular pet will give me a Death Blade. That's something I would definitely be looking for on this particular pet. So, for instance, if I want to breed one of these, then what I can do is I can come out and do browse by pet type. So I'm going to look at all the Acid Rain cores, and so now I can start scrolling through all the Acid Rain cores. So what do I have here? Well, what I'm looking for primarily are the different types of combinations. I know I want an Acid Rain core. I know I want that blade. This will also show me other cards that this Acid Rain core will also give you, which is pretty cool. And then you can start going through. Like, this one may cast a Tower Shield. This one may cast a Triage, so that's kind of cool. It may cast a Balance Blade, so it'll throw another blade out. That's awesome if you're really into blades. It gives you plus 10% defense, which is nice, and it may cast a Healing Current. So this is a really good balance pet right here because you get several different types of healing out of it, an additional blade, as well as a defense. That might be the one to go for. But if you select a different Rain Core, you'll notice that he has a whole different set of blades. Like, for instance, this one may cast a Spirit Blade, which is another blade. Give you the spell proof, not as high, but still good. May Steal a Ward, which can be useful during a game. Has Ace Avenger, so may cast the Vengeance spell, which especially in a later level is really, really good. Or Fearless Fortifier, so it may cast a Fortify spell. So basically, this allows you to quickly go through and find one that has the type of spells you're looking for. Like, for instance, if I was to put these two guys together and I get an Acid Rain Core out of it, then look, I have like a 43. That may go down because notice my pedigree on this guy is pretty low, and I may reduce a little bit of his talent. So I might get a mix of the types of talents that they give. So that's one way to hatch it. Notice my cost is now at 101. It used to be, this would be down at around 37. Now, what this does is this makes makes it a little bit tougher to get a killer pet right out of the batch. It means you got to grind for some more gold, and you have to do it. So what this does is this actually gives you more determination to go ahead and use some of the pets you get early on in the game, as opposed to just taking one of those lower end pets and just trying to trade up right away, because usually in the early game you're trying to get gold for a lot of other reasons, and getting 100,000 gold can be a challenge. Now, some people like to think, well, that's just going to ruin it for players starting off. Well, no, it's a different game. It's going to help balance the pets out, because I think pets, especially in the early game, have become a little bit OP because of the amount of gold that you can use, because they're pretty easy to breed, and after a few times you can get a really awesome pet for a level 10 character, which is a little bit OP. Now, if you're looking for specific talents, you can also use the search for pet talents up here, and then you can scroll through all the different talents that are out there, select about 2 of them, and search pets. Like, for instance, let's say I wanted to get I don't know, let's just go ahead and grab, let's say I wanted to get a Elemental Blade and an Elemental Trap. I want my pet to have that. So, search for all talents, and this is going to show me pets that will give me both of those types of blades. So there you go. That is pets in a nutshell, guys. These guys are awesome. They help you in fights. They help you on your stats. They're also fun to look at, and they give you a particular style to your wizard. So this was Kimise playing Kieran Duskweaver, giving you a quick overview of pets, guys. Have a great day. This was Quick Tips. Oh, and if you like this, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel and the video. Bye-bye.